Okay, and let me put spotlight. Okay. All right. So today is the most wonderful appearance day of Dhanvanthari, and wonderful. So I'm just testing on my video feed. Wonderful, looks like everything's going fine. Just have to share this, and we'll get started. So thank you all for joining in today, and it's been quite a long time. I have gone live. So, right post. Okay. So, join us live. Okay. All right. So, we are all live. So, we are all ready to go. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Raghava Swaminiti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So today is the most wonderful appearance day of Dhanvanthari, and we are very fortunate today that about billions of years ago, on this day of Trayodashi, Kartika Trayodashi, on this day, the Lord Dhanvantari appeared. So there was a very wonderful event that was taking place. And what was that event? So at the beginning of creation, the demigods and demons, they were looking for wealth. They were looking for to enhance or take up everything from the universe. So they got a very beautiful Mandara mountain, and this Mandara mountain, it is so huge and supported by the Lord. The Lord came in the avatar of a tortoise at the base of this mountain, and the snake Vasuki. It's a long story, but I'm just giving you the essence because we want to move into the essence of understanding the incarnation of Dhanvantari. So, this snake Vasuki was used as a churning rope, and this mountain was upside down. Okay, and when this was being churned, when the Samudra Manthana, when the great causal ocean was being churned, at that time, several things came up over a period of different days. And first, there was poison, halahala. And as this Manthana was going on, Lakshmi Devi also appeared. And then the incarnation on the Trayodashi, on this day, appeared the incarnation of Ayurveda, Dhanvantari. So it is called Dhanteras. So this Dhanteras is very, very important because people think Dhan in general, Dhan means wealth. But what is our real wealth? Your cryptocurrency. Oh, sorry, it's not your cryptocurrency. So real. Our health. Yes, our health is our real wealth. So our health is our real wealth. So our health, without health, one cannot do dharma, artha, kama. You cannot do anything. You cannot achieve anything. So to achieve dharma, artha, kama or moksha, one needs good health. But what is good health? What are the three keys to good health? So Dhanvantari gave us the science of Ayurveda. Ayurveda means the science of life. Ayu means life. Now, life is characterized when you give a blessing to somebody in our Vedic terms. We call dhanam dhanyam pashuputra labam shata samvatsaram dirgham ayuhu krishnairamati krishna bhakti prapti rastu. This is one of the keys to health. I will explain this. Then, in the definition of good health, Charaka Samhita says, what is real health? He says, Samadoshaha, Samagnischa, Samadhatu Malakriyaha, Prasanna Atmendriyamanaha, Swasta Ityabhidhiyate. So if you put these two together, there comes a very, very beautiful definition of good health. So we are the soul. We are Atma. So the real health, according to Ayurveda, according to Dhanvanthari, your real health is when you are self-realized. Is when the soul is able to express itself fully. Because when the soul is completely realized, soul is completely awakened, then there is no question of depression. There is no question of bad, negative emotions. That is why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. He becomes free from two of the biggest problems in this world. One is lamentation and one is expectation, anxiety, fear, all these things. Very beautiful. So the very definition of health will tell you the key points of how you should keep yourself healthy. And that is what we will discuss today. So first thing he says, Samadoshaha. So Ayurveda begins with understanding these three things, Kapha, Pitta and Vata. So the soul, so you are the soul, Atma. So the Atma is covered by the intelligence. It's just like the Atma is put in a bubble wrap. Because the Atma experiences spiritual pleasures only. So, so somebody is asking the topics I was just telling. So this intelligence is the closest. This is very important for us to understand. Intelligence is the closest subtle material object to the soul, right next to the soul. Right next to our soul is the intelligence. So that is why we have two types of spiritual intelligence. One is called material spiritual intelligence and the material intelligence and spiritual intelligence. Not material spiritual intelligence, material intelligence and spiritual intelligence. So material intelligence is used only for dharma, artha, kama. Even dharma, people worshipping just for some material gain. Just like I have a friends group who are my classmates. And they all share about which whiskey they drank today all the time. And today they are sharing happy Dhanteras and they are putting a picture of Lakshmi and Ganesh, no Vishnu. So how obscured the meaning of God is just we want to use God for our own sense gratification. This is the most turned up mentality. And then look at the deviation the Vedic system has undergone. People want Lakshmi and Ganesh. All their difficulties should go and they want Lakshmi, but not Vishnu. But actually Dhanteras is all about Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu appeared as Dhanvanthari to give us the highest, to show us the way to obtain the highest pleasure of awakening the soul, Atma Sakshatkara. So Ayurveda says the soul in this material world is subjected to three kinds of suffering: Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adi Atmika. Adi Bhautika, climate change, suffering, but that is also created by humans mostly because of their karma. Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, other living entities creating trouble for you. And other living entities creating trouble means, you see these, if you watch the news, within 10 minutes you will get anxiety, right? Other living entities, they want to just keep you in fear, anger. Third is Adhyatmika. So Adhyatmika, so the definition of health comes under Adhyatmika. So Adhyatmika means your own body and mind giving you misery. So Ayurveda teaches you how to be free. How to be free from the suffering which is induced by your own body and mind, right? Nobody can trouble us more than our own body and mind, because your mind is always with you, right? Other people you can get rid of, but you cannot get rid of your own mind. Ow! Try to pull it out. No. Try to put a what do you call that? Vacuum, and try to suck the mind out. No. Can you? No. Your mind is always accompanying you. So Ayurveda and yoga, these complementary sciences, they say your key to happiness is your mind. Your key to happiness is your mind. So mind is in between. So we saw that the soul is the key to happiness. So connecting with the soul is called yoga. But how do you connect? Buddhi yoga. When the intelligence becomes pure, then you connect with the soul. Our buddhi, our intelligence is right now not pure. Next door to the intelligence is the mind. And next door to the mind is the body. So there is the body, there is the mind, there is the intelligence, and there is the soul. So I'm not trying to do a Michael Jackson dance here. But you see, this is how it is. And next to the mind, this body. So this body is what? Samadoshaha. So what is the body comprised of? There is senses, there is the hands, legs, these senses for acquiring knowledge, senses for action. All of them feed the mind. But in general, in Ayurveda, it's defined as Kapha Pittavata. So your body has a physical structure that is called Kapha, that is made up of Kapha. Your body has a juices of digestion. So that is called Pitta. So all the physical structure, this is called Kapha, right? Your whole body. So that is called as Peter Park. Peter Park means all the final result of transformation. So all the final result of the transformation of energy. So that is called as Peter Park. Okay, so when your body from the atom, so atoms come together, they form molecules. So these atoms, these small atoms, right? So from the atomic level, so gradually all the molecules gain together. The same atoms form into molecules. Some of them become your liver cells, some of them become your thighs. You can see fat from the thighs can be transformed into fat in a different point. One point can be put in a different place, right? Somebody's eyes can be transferred to another person's eyes, right? You can exchange different people's eyes, different people's organs. See, so the universal molecules are the same. So that is why I can give my blood to you. I can eat this food, you can eat that food. So we are all connected with these all universal elements, but they transform into Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. So this Kapha. So Kapha is the physical makeup of the transformation of these molecules. Now within all these molecules, all the digestive juices, all the healing juices that flow, that is Pitta. That is Pitta. And that is your digestive fire. Charaka Samhita says, in your stomach, the fire of digestion is Lord Krishna. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha I am staying in everybody's stomach as the fire of digestion. It is said your lifespan depends on your Agni. Your lifespan depends on your fire of digestion. So some people are blessed with good fire of digestion. Some people are blessed with weak fire of digestion. Not blessed. Some people have weak fire of digestion. So your body is because of previous life's karma. So the good fire of digestion. So the kapha, so going back to one more point I wanted to add, the kapha, the physical body, what is the essence when your body is glowing, when your body is strong, when your energy is fully glowing? So that is called ojasa, ojas, right? So when your physical energy is very strong in the body, that is indicated by ojas. When all the organs in your body, when they have good heat, good digestive chemicals, so that is called a tejasa, tejas. So it is said, for example, the fire in your eyes. So eyes are fire element. So when you look at something, you digest what you see. It produces that emotions. You fall in love with your eyes, right? So when I looked at her for the first time, I fell in love. But how did you do it? You digested. You see your fire, those chemicals, they move within, where the mind has that desire, and as soon as you see the object, your eyes digest that, and connected with your object is the desire of your mind, and then the object, then you digest, oh, and then you want it. the basic the basic function of the mind is to mimic the function of the soul. The function of the soul is to desire and act to fulfill that desire. So mind is reflecting that same function in a material way. The soul has spiritual senses, spiritual eyes, spiritual mind, and when he sees in the spiritual environment, when he sees the Lord in the Vaikuntha, in the spiritual world, he sees the Lord, he is in deep ecstasy, he desires how to serve the Lord, how to enjoy. However, here he is doing the exact same thing in a material way, with the material senses, material objects. So it's a reflection of your real self. You cannot stop the desire, because that is the nature of the soul. You cannot stop the mind from desiring. However, we can spiritualize it by connecting back to our Atma, and that is what he defines as good health. So the essence of kapha is ojasa, ojas. The essence of fire, you see, what you see, you digest. Alochaka pitta, it is called, that which decides, that which thinks, that pitta, that fire within you, which makes decisions. So what you see, what you feel is all digested, right? And then it is fed to the mind. So what you see, what you hear, what you touch, it's all digested. So that is all different fires in your body at the molecular level, at the atomic level. So that is called pitta. And what is the essence of this pitta is tejasa, tejas, intelligence, sharp, powerful intelligence, sharp ability to act in this world. So somebody's digestion is good, mind is sharp. Sharp, fire is good, your digestion is sharp. So those who have sluggish digestion, they are usually very weak. Those who eat anything and everything, those who eat in a hurry. So their intelligence is very, very sharp. So the next thing is vata. Vata is movement. So your body, so far we discussed kapha, that is the whole physical structure. Now within this, all the chemicals, all the movement, that is all pitta. For example, blood is pitta. So the movement of the blood is pitta. Okay, so blood is pitta. All the digestive juices are pitta. Now vata is the movement of air, vayu. So in the body, air plus space is called vata, air plus space. So air element and space, they together become, so the body is comprised of 5 elements. So fire, right? Fire and earth together form Pitta. Water and earth together form Kapha. And air and space form Vata. All the movements, breathing, this is all Vata. All the transformation of thoughts is called as Vata. So when the physical structure is balanced, when the physical structure is balanced, when all the juices are flowing, when all the digestive juices are flowing in a balanced manner, and when the flow of prana, because vata, the airflow, is mainly dealing with prana, the essence of vata, the essence of all the flow. So, oh, looks like I did not put a link there. So, the essence of prana, so essence of vata is prana. So, this pranic air, so pranic vata. So, this vata, so the prana is here around this area. Okay, there are different pranas. In the heart there is vyana vayu, so prana is divided, this air becomes divided, does different functions. For example, closing and opening your eyes, closing and opening your mouth, this is all movement of the airs, right? The movement of my hand, this is also air pressure, right? Suppose I twist, suppose my hand, there is no pressure, what happens? I feel weak. When my pressure is too high, I am too active, right? So your pressure, ocular pressure, so then you see like this or see like this, you are relaxed. When you are having too much pressure, then you get. So you need to have a balance in your pressure, right? So when you are tensed, they say he is under pressure. What happens? Your flow is affected. So that is why Vata has the highest form of diseases. In Ayurveda, it says those who have Vata Prakriti, Vata imbalanced, so they have 80 different diseases. Anxiety, fear, these are all Vata related diseases. Or if you develop too much anxiety or too much fear, then the Vata gets disturbed. Right? Too much eating very quickly, or eating very, very slow, talking too much. These are all disorders in Vata. So one should be mita. One should not tell a lie. One should be proper in one's talking, not over talk. That is why fasting means also, one of the ways of fasting is to silence. You see, in Buddhism, silence, because what happens then, your mind gets time, because every time you talk, your mind has to process. So unnecessarily talking. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpa. It says in the terms of good health, in the yogic scriptures and the Vedic scriptures and the Vaishnava scriptures, it says too much talking is bad for you. Why? In the Vata, it says too much talking, especially one should not talk while eating. Some of them are eating while talking, right? Or talking while eating. So what happens? When you eat, what you are eating, when you eat, you want peristalsis movement to go down, and when you talk, the Udana Vayu is going upward. And you are activating the Udana Vayu to go upward. Your food is actually coming up. So that disturbs your whole digestion. So one should eat very silently, or listen to some pleasant music, because your mind should not go through. When you're eating, you're like remembering your worst enemy, and all that poison goes into your head. So eating should be the most sanctified. So the first key to health is good eating, calm, relaxed eating. Sanctified food. Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhihi, sattva shuddha dhruva smritihi, smriti labde sarva shastranam vipramokshaha. If you have any questions during the class, you can put it in the chat. Okay, so that you may not forget. If whatever I'm saying, if you develop any questions, please put them in the chat, and I will try to answer them in the end. Okay, I have two questions. So Joshua just texted me two questions, so I'll answer them in the end. Okay, so any questions that you think of, whatever I'm speaking, if you feel confused, whatever I said, just put them in the chat, and then we can discuss them in the end. Okay, all right. So so vata. So the first thing is, key to good health begins with the Kapha Pitta Vata should be in balance. So for that, eating, the way you eat, the way you digest is the key. Today's problem is people are eating while walking, people are eating while they are listening to some, heavy rock music. So what happens? Your mind thinks like a rock. It doesn't digest. You should eat in such a way that even a rock can digest, but you make your digestion like a rock. So, so the first thing that we need to do is eat properly. Samadoshaha. So bring vata to balance. So vata to balance. So vata is your circulation. Vata is the movement of air. Vata is the accommodation of sound. Vata is the circulation. All the movements of air. So this is all vata. So that you can understand. So whenever you diagnose any disease, you understand what is vata. So vata is dry, light. So when somebody has excess vata, means he's too talkative, too dry, light, all these things. So you can have a mix. It's not that somebody is purely vata. So secondly, it's pitta. So pitta means good tejas, good skin luster, because there are five subdoshas, five types of pitta. One of them is in the skin. If your skin is glowing without using a cream, right, that is brajaka pitta. If your intelligence is glowing, alochaka pitta. So alochaka is here. This is so there are different pachaka pitta, brajaka pitta, right? So digestion. So your liver is detoxed by ranjaka pitta, bile. So when the pitta is in balance, when the digestive juices is in balance, if the digestive juices are not in balance, what happens? Whatever you eat, it converts into ama or poison. So your pitta should be in balance, because whatever you eat, you need to digest, because it needs to convert into finer substances. So finer substances means your digestion takes 37 days once you eat something. It's converted into rasa. So rasa is the digestive juices, then converted into, so that is plasma, what we call plasma in your blood. Glucose. Now glucose digests into blood. So now this process takes 5 days each. So blood formation. So life cycle of a blood cell is about 120 days. So within that, a lot of the blood is converted into muscle. That takes another 5 days, called mamsa. And mamsa is converted into medas, is fat. Now this is not just your belly fat. Now this is the fat in your brain, your cartilage tissue. All these things are fat. And we have mamsa, asti, then asti, then the bones. So this bones, fat is converted, this cartilage is converted into bone tissue, and then bone is converted into bone marrow. So you need to eat food which digests all these seven. Suppose I'm eating potato chips. Now that is good for which is just starch, right? It doesn't give you, it doesn't even have shukra, or the last essence of digestion. The bone marrow, that finest of finest blood, is converted into ojas, is converted into semen, and if you remain celibate. So that is the second key to celibacy. Second key to good health is proper celibacy. And if we do not keep a good celibacy, then what happens? Right, that finest lot of blood is lost away. So our mind should be neutral towards any material enjoyment. Our mind should be neutral. We should understand that all enjoyment in this world is so all enjoyment in this world comes at a price. It's like credit card. Buy now, pay later. So one who understands that this body is meant for self-preservation only, means to maintain. Don't try to abuse this body. Don't try to abuse. Samadoshaha. So balance. Don't try to, all these seven dhatus, rasa, rakta, samadoshaha, samagnischa, samadhatu. So these dhatus. So these Kapha Pitta Vata and these seven dhatus, they have to be in balance for you to be in good health. And what are the activities that can spoil a bad diet? Drinking, eating, whatever you feel like. So there are three causes of disease. I haven't finished good health because that is our ongoing discussion. But talking about disease, it says pradnya aparada, when you go against your intelligence, against the intelligence of the universe. You have to understand what is the universe. The first thing is to break these three rules. Improper diet, improper sleep, improper celibacy. Sensual contact, improper sensual contact. It is said in Yoga Sutra, keep yourself clean, keep yourself away from unnecessary sensual contact. Celibacy is to keep brahmacharya, what we call. Not to enjoy illicitly. Celibacy. Celibacy means brahmacharya. To not enjoy illicit sex. So that is called brahmacharya. Brahmani charati iti brahmacharya. So in the definition of good health, he continues, so your Kapha Pitta Vata should be balanced. So Kapha. So Vata causes 80 types of diseases, Pitta imbalance causes 40 types of diseases, and Kapha imbalance causes 20 types of diseases. So Kapha is your physical structure. So that should be nourished with exercise. One should have proper yoga, proper asana, exercise. See, exercise doesn't work as well as yoga. I have not heard of a single proper yoga practitioner who died of a heart attack midway. Just 2 days ago, we heard the death of Puneet Rajkumar, one of the India's biggest film stars at the age of 41. And I saw one of his workout videos. And that was like, he has huge hamstrings, he has calf muscles, and he's jumping, he's touching his toes, he's doing exercise. But there is a difference between exercise and yoga. There is a difference between exercise and yoga. So yoga is all about calmness. Yoga is all about bringing the Kapha Pitta Vata to balance. Of course, I'll give you the key points. We cannot discuss the whole thing today, but these are key points. So one should live his life in such a way that he preserves the body, enhances the qualities, enhances the digestion. You should eat foods in such a way that is conducive to your dosha, conducive to the season, because one of the causes of disease is also change of season according to the season. And one should also exercise, keep clean, and keep good relationships. Samagnischa. So Pitta we discussed, Agni, digestive fire. Even the seven levels of changes that the food undergoes in your body, there is a Agni for each. There is a fire for each level of digestion. Rasa, Rakta, Mamsa. There is a fire of digestion for each level. And then Samadhatu Malakriyaha, cleansing. It is said one should not hold your urges. One should not hold the urges. What is your urges? So if suppose you have to pass stool and urine, it is said one should shamelessly take a break and go past stool and urine. Many times I find during our yoga practice, we sometimes get this urge. Don't hold it. Your body needs to be clean. The longer you keep them, they can become toxic. They can cause severe illnesses. And your spores of your body, the sweat, the third one. So when your body heats up, your sweat glands, it heats up the sweat glands, releases water. So many a times you don't sweat, because what happens, those skin subcutaneous fat, that is vitamin D. That's a very bad sign when your vitamin D is weak. Most of the people who died during this COVID, they had weak vitamin D. The body was having lot of toxins. So today's problem is people have lot of toxins. They don't sweat enough, they don't eat proper, and they don't clear their body enough properly. Samadhatu malakriyaha. So the three doshas, Kapha Pitta Vata, should be in balance. Samagnisha, the Agni should be in balance. Jataragni should be in balance. Samadhatu, the seven dhatus should be in balance. And malakriyaha. And the mala, the urine, it should be urine, stool, all these things should be clean. So I'm just checking if I'm still live. Okay. So it's still going. Okay, I'm recording it somewhere because I'm just started my StreamYard subscription. So I just want to make sure it's live. So all these should be in balance. Samadhatu malakriyaha. Now comes the important thing. Samadhatu malakriyaha. Prasanna. Be happy. Where? Atma. If you study the Ayurveda, like what they do in India, in universities today, Atma is the one that gives the body its life. It's just like something mundane. No. Atmananda, Brahmananda. The highest pleasure that one can have. Prasanna Atma. He says, you should be performing spiritual activity on a daily basis. So that is why you are getting all this health is meant to give you happiness at the level of the soul. And what happens with that? Atma Indriya Manaha, the mind and the senses fall in place. So that is why getting the knowledge of self-realization, activities of self-realization, activities of bhakti is the highest form of health. In fact, when the soul separates from the body, when the soul gets freedom, because the word dosha, samadosha, dosha means fault. So this body is a fault, is a problem for the soul. So this body is a problem for the soul. So this body needs to become, this soul needs to become free from this body. You can achieve that within this body itself. I always give the example of a coconut. Right? So the coconut is a very beautiful example. So a coconut, a raw green coconut, right? I don't know how many have seen here, but in India we get this raw, or in Caribbean, anywhere, in any tropical place, you get this raw green coconut. So there is the white cream within. It is touching the wall. You have to scrape it out. It is attached. But when that same coconut becomes ripe, when it becomes brown, ripe, dry, brown, the inner white cream, it separates out. And if you shake the coconut, it separates. So it is said that one who is self-realized, one who is happy, one who is perfectly healthy, he separates the coconut, the cream, the attachment of this world from the, he's separated from within. So for him, this body is just like an instrument only. He doesn't think, I am this body, I have so many things to achieve, I am this old. By this time, Bill Gates was a billionaire and I am not even I don't even have 50,000. He doesn't think in terms of time. He thinks in terms of the universal time. He thinks in terms of the soul. He thinks in terms of the soul. So that is real health. When the soul goes beyond time. In fact, it is said, why should you keep Kapha Pitta Vata in balance? It is said, now listen to this. It is said, I was amazed to read all these things, but then I found it is true. One who has Kapha imbalanced, it is said, he becomes attached. He becomes envious. attached, envious, angry. So angry is Pitta. When Pitta is imbalanced, he becomes angry, he becomes upset, he becomes lusty. So your diet and lifestyle can put your doshas out of place, and then gradually that leads to dissatisfaction, envy, anger. Can you imagine? So by leading a balanced lifestyle, having a balanced so having a balanced body, balanced diet, balanced lifestyle, what happens? Gradually all these diseases, they keep away. The diseases, even envy, lust, anger, depression, all these things are not just, they are part of emotions of a bad mental health. It is already addressed in the Ayurveda. Prasanna Atmendriya Manaha. So how to keep the Atma happy? It is said in the Yoga Sutras that one should read about the self every day. Swadhyayat Ishtadeva Samprayoga. Swadhyaya. Analyze the self. Every day, if you spend even 5 minutes after you wake up, who am I? What am I going to do today? Right? Instead of holding your cell phone in your bathroom, you can think, who am I? The first thing you can think, who am I? What am I going to do today after I clean myself? Right? So it is said they analyze the self. For that, one should have clear intelligence. So Ayurveda is to go to the level of intelligence. So that is why in Ayurveda, what we call as Dravya Guna Vijnana, identifying all the objects in the universe and identifying which is not a material object. So that is the soul. And to act in a way that your soul, senses, and your mind are completely satisfied and happy. Right? So one should lead a very, according to the definition of this health. And also one can keep the mind satisfied by always telling the truth, because it is said, if you always speak the truth, what happens? Your mind is always peaceful. One should eat balanced. One should not speak too much. In an Ayurvedic verse, it is said, don't speak too much unnecessarily. Don't eat too much unnecessarily. Because when you speak too much, then what happens? Your vata rises. When vata rises, what? You daydream. And when you sleep and you wake up, all those dreams are boom. You see, some people, when you sit together and discuss ideas, boom. So that is called vata. Vata high. So one should not have vata high, pitta high, angry. Kapha high, very, attached. So one should have balance, Kapha Pittavata. One should act in a very calm. For that, Patanjali in the Yoga Sutra gives you a beautiful clue. He says, past doesn't exist. Many people cry of the past. Oh, India was ruled by the British. India lost to the British. Oh. There's no point in crying. And then what will happen in the future? No, what you have is at the present. But what makes a difference for you to live in the present is the heaviness of knowledge. How grounded you are depends on how heavy, how loaded, right? We call it loaded. How loaded you are with information, how loaded you are with knowledge. A man is known by the quality of knowledge, because knowledge means I can know I am the soul. But if I don't act on it, then what is the use of such knowledge? Knowledge means that which can be put into use. which can be beneficial, like Karna. He was a liar. So, and he cheated. Then what happened? At the time of death, his chariot went into the ground and he forgot all his mantras. And Krishna told Arjuna, kill him. And Karna said, Krishna, what are you doing? You are telling Arjuna to kill a person who doesn't have his weapons in hand. He said, where were you? Where were your laws and rules and all your questioning when Abhimanyu was killed at your hands, helpless, from behind? When you did all this to Draupadi in front of everyone, where were your rules? When you break rules, you also get the same thing back. So, what I'm trying to tell you is eventually Ayurveda is all about karma also. It is said, Purva Janma Kratam Papam Vyadhi Rupena Pidyate. All our diseases are bad karma from previous life or this life. Right? If you drink alcohol too much, then your liver fails. Don't sleep at all, severe damage to the liver. Then you suffer for a long, long time. Purva Janma Kratam Papam. But there was a joke in India, because Ayurveda should be studied by guru disciples, should be studied in a spiritual environment. So unfortunately, this became a 4-year degree course. Right? And then the essence of Ayurveda was lost. And then they called the same thing they made into a joke. So I just wanted to share this joke. It said, Purva Janma Kratam Papam Ayurveda Rupena Pidyate. So Purva Janma Kratam Papam. So last life, whatever sinful activities that you did, that comes back as a degree course in Ayurveda. So the thing is, Ayurveda is a very esoteric science. It's a very pure science. You cannot just by heart or just study. It has to be, the spiritual essence should be there. If you look at Padartha Vigyan, right? So because I'm doing my PhD and I was working on Ayurvedic wellness. So I had to go through this whole Padartha Vigyan book, and I was looking on YouTube if there are any videos, and I was so disappointed to see the way these people, this is how you write an exam. So Ayurveda says this, you have a soul, you have a senses, you have a mind, and if you by heart this, you will get full points. I mean, that's not the points are secondary, but self-realization is most important. So Ayurveda is also self-healing for self-realization, to achieve the highest level of happiness. So Lord Dhanvanthari came to give us this science of Ayurveda. Now, very interestingly, when you say Veda, so the Ayurveda is already there in the Veda. So the Veda contains everything, even yoga, Ayurveda, these are all intertwined. But in Kali Yuga, we don't study the Veda. So therefore, Sushruta, Charaka, all these people had to come out and write books. So that is why Patanjali had to give the Yoga Sutras. All the Geranda Samhita, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Krishna had to give the Bhagavad Gita. Right? Because we don't study the Veda in Kali Yuga. There is no more. It takes 16 years to read the Veda. Then you have to be mature enough to understand the Veda. And then you have to take out all these verses of this Ayurveda. So the different acharyas were sent at the beginning of Kali Yuga, so that all these books are available to you in a very easy way. So in Ayurveda, there is a book called Bhava Prakasha, which talks about all the medicinal plants. There is also a book called Nigantu, which is a dictionary of all the medicinal plants in Ayurveda. Similarly, Charaka Samhita, which gives you all the different wellness, different things. So all in all, Ayurveda talks about a complete lifestyle. What do you do when you wake up? So even in the Hari Bhakti Vilasa, Sanatan Goswami quotes these things. If you brush right, you won't get any disease. If you clean your tongue, you don't get these many diseases. Right? If you take shower thrice a day, then you don't get diseases of envy, anger, lust, All these diseases go away if you keep yourself clean. If you are keeping yourself dirty or not keeping yourself clean, that is also a sign of disease, mental disease. Or eventually, if you keep yourself dirty long enough, you will contract a disease. So in Ayurveda, it says how and why one should keep clean, how and why one should eat properly according to dosha, proper diet. So in general, have a light breakfast, good lunch, and a light, very light, or no dinner, very light. So that is the basic principle in Ayurveda. Exercise or do yoga at least 30 minutes a day. Ayurveda says one should do exercise 30 minutes. One should take a walk at least 30 minutes before dinner. After dinner, I meant to say after dinner, walk 30 minutes. So before you sleep off. One should sleep with his head towards east and south, right? One should not, till the point of sleeping, one should not keep on thinking. One should relax and let everything go. And one should sleep in a very calm manner. That is if you don't have little kids. My little one keeps waking up at 3 and 5. I don't know how to follow Ayurveda in that sense. He keeps up at 3 and he shouts. So sometimes with little kids, so many things are not possible. But whatever best possible. And celibacy. So understand life is not meant for simply some gross enjoyment. Life is meant for to preserve the body, to remain healthy, and to achieve higher happy goals. Okay. All right, so I will stop here. I can speak, I can keep on speaking, but we will stop here, and I'll go for some questions. Then we'll do a beautiful meditation. We have a beautiful Dhanvanthari deity, and today is his appearance, so we will honor him. So left eye keeps twitching. So left eye, right eye. So for the men, so left eye twitching means two things. One, you are not well. Second, your body is cleansing. So if left eye keeps twitching, means the body is one. The body is could be sick. The second is the body is cleansing. It is undergoing some change. It is undergoing some cleansing. For the women, right eye, if it twitches, so the body is either sick or it's undergoing a cleanse. So one of the two things. Okay. So in your case, maybe Joshua, it is cleansing. So it is left eye is twitching. So which is a good sign. That means your body is very sensitive right now. You need to sleep well. You need to exercise well and relax more. Don't take any more attention. Okay. What about living with animals? So what about living with animals? I didn't get the question. Like cows, mode of goodness. So when you have cows,
I haven't. Yeah, like well, any animal, like
any animal. Yeah. See, the thing is, cows,
yeah,
for example,
like pets.
Pets, yeah. So in general in Ayurveda, so in Veda, cow is regarded as the most. Of course, everybody used to have all kinds of animals, but the cows are regarded closest. The cow's shed used to be the closest to the house. Actually, there is actually in Ayurveda there is, what do you call it? The cow's milk, Ojas. It is the brain power, it is memory, it is strength, it is spirituality. So cow is the direct representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the devatas live within the cow. So cow is the most revered because cow hoof is considered very auspicious. The hair of the cow, this is considered very auspicious. So cow's milk, full fat of the cow's milk is the direct fat that you need for the brain, for the nervous tissue. So the different foods that give you gut bacteria, so gut bacteria is the one that keeps up all the serotonin and good health. So the cow's milk is considered the best. So therefore cows are considered directly the representative of Krishna, and definitely living with cows is recommended. Other animals are also there, but I don't have enough time to describe all of them right now. Okay, so I have so need help Ayurveda if you can help in any way. Yeah, we can consult Rayansh if you are interested in a consultation. We can discuss this offline. You can text me, WhatsApp, and we can discuss. Okay. So, what is celibacy? I hope I answered the question. Celibacy means to keep brahmacharya. So, to keep purity, to not have illicit sex. So, that is a very key to good health. Does the twitching of an eye ignore? Yeah, I heard it is superstitious. Yes. So, like I said, for the men, left eye is either a sign of body is cleansing, undergoing a strong change, or it is sick. For the women, it will be right eye. So for women, if left eye is twitching, means yes, something good is coming on the way. For the men, right eye. So left eye is not to worry. Left eye means your body is undergoing a change, a good. If you are doing some kind of yoga meditation, that means it's undergoing the cleanse. It's in a critical phase of a cleanse. Okay. All right. So any other quick questions, comments before we go on to the meditation? So we will discuss the Dhanvanthari Mantra today. We will offer the Dhanvanthari Mantra to Lord Dhanvanthari, and we will try to make today's day successful. So, so millions of years ago, today was the appearance day of Dhanvantari. So this Dhanvantari mantra was given so that we can offer prayer to Lord Dhanvantari and get his blessings. So we have a beautiful deity of Lord Dhanvantari. I'm going to bring him closer. So today is his appearance day. So wish him happy appearance day, a happy birthday to Lord Dhanvantari. And we are going to sing or chant the verse for the appearance of. So you can see Dhanvantari comes with Lord Dhanvantari comes with comes with four hands. So one hand contains the conch for auspiciousness, chakra to cut all diseases, then two leaves, and then the pot of nectar. And the pot of nectar. See, other deity I worship is the deity of Patanjali. So Patanjali, as we know, is an incarnation of Shesha. So he's the incarnation of Shesha. So he has the hood, and he has the Shankha of just as Lord Shesha is there, and he has the body of Lord Shesha. So we will join our hands, okay, and we will offer prayers to Lord Dhanvantari. Okay, so this is a very beautiful mantra. So you can all be on mute. I will give space because when everybody talks, it becomes the sound can reverberate. So you can all join your hands to Dhanvantari today. So today is a day to pray for good health. So I request all of you to remember so today is a day to pray for all the people whom you want to be healthy. So whoever is your family member, whoever is your relative, whoever is your friend. So remember them And we are offering a loving prayer to Lord Dhanvanthari. And it's a very beautiful deity actually that we are very fortunate to have, looking at his lotus feet and his body. So we are praying. So with heartfelt prayer, so pray for good health. So the good health definition, that you become happy at the level of the soul, that you become spiritually happy, that should be your goal. So pray for that spiritual happiness. Om. So I'm giving a gap after each word, so I assume you are repeating. Okay. Namo. No, please keep on mute because the sound will reverberate. So I'm giving gaps so that you can also chant. Namo.
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
Dhanvantaraye
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 Amrita
Mrita
Kalashahastaya
Taya
Sarvamaya
Amaya
Vinashaya
Nashaya
Trilokanathaya
Trilokanathaya
Om
Om
Shri Mahavishnave
Mahavishnave
Namaha.
Namaha
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Dhanvantaraye
Dhanvantaraye
Amrita Kalashahastaya
Kalasahastaya
Sarvamaya Vinashaya
Vinashaya
Trilokyanathaya
Trilokanathaya
Om Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Okay, one more time. Om Namo Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
Dhanvantaraye
Dhanvantaraye
Amrita Kalashahastaya
Kasahastaya
Sarvamaya Vinashaya
Vinashaya
Trilokanathaya
Lokanathaya
Om Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu.
Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu.
On behalf of all of you, so I am touching the lotus feet of Dhanvantari and pray for everyone's good health. Not only your good health of you, your family members, whomever you are thinking of, with love and this Amrita. So we pray that we live a lifestyle in such a way that our body, so Sarvamaya Vinashaya, Ama, all the poisons in our life. So poison is not just the bad food you eat. Poison is also this mental poison that we have to make so much money, we have to enjoy it, we have to do all these things. But our goal is not just to that. Our goal is spiritual happiness. Any poison that stops us from connecting to the soul, any material object. So let us pray that that we get freedom from all that that is troublesome, and that we always go ahead. So when spiritual happiness is there, all material happiness will follow, right? So let us all pray that we achieve that spiritual happiness, and we achieve our spiritual goals. Yes, I will text the mantra for sure, And anybody has any other questions before we end? Please let me know.
Yeah, Prabhu, what is the deity on the right?
1 second. I'm just texting the mantra. So Patanjali. So Patanjali Muni is an incarnation of. Patanjali Muni is an incarnation of Lord Anantashesh. So he's the incarnation of Shesha. So he is the one who compiled the Yoga Sutras. So I worship every day Patanjali. So how do I worship? Not mantra is also a part of it. So before we start our yoga practice, we chant mantra for Patanjali. Yogena chittasya padena vacham. By yoga, chittasya, he purified the mind by giving us the practice of yoga. Padena vacham. He also wrote a Sanskrit grammar book called I think it's a grammar book. So padena vacham, he purified this speech by giving us grammar. Pade malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena, and all the bodily and mental impurities, because we have impurities in the body, we have impurities in the mind. So both are cleared vaidyakena, by giving us a healthy lifestyle, a practice. Because in the Yoga Sutras it is said, what is the benefit? For example, it is said, if you keep non-violence, if you keep ahimsa, what happens? Then everybody around you becomes peaceful. So ahimsa. So if you always tell the truth, what happens? Whatever you speak, it will come true. So like that. So he gave all that in his Yoga Sutras, which we will discuss in our teacher training. That is the next part in teacher training. Malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopa karoktam pravaram muninam. And of all the great munis is the pravara. From the purest, highest platform he descended. Patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi. So we pray that we get his blessings always. All right. So how do you prepare for the upcoming lunar eclipse? So lunar eclipse day. Oh, vitamin D. So there are two questions. Okay. So for lunar eclipse, how do we prepare? So lunar eclipse is a day. It's in the early morning. You get it because lunar eclipse only happens in the night. So basically after
શંકરા ધન્વંતરી અને પતંજલિની મૂર્તિ સંજય
so
એ રોજ એમને પૂજા કરે છે.
So
કેટલી
we should fast. Okay, after the lunch we should fast, right? So that is the way you prepare. Now what is the highest benefit you can get during the eclipse? So it is said that is the best time for so the day before that, day after that, don't start anything materially auspicious. So do meditation, chant mantras, Gayatri or Hare Krishna mantra or Bija mantra for meditation. So all these things we do. So but the main activity is fasting and withdrawal. Okay. So it is also a day to purify karma, because usually it happens on the full moon. So full moon is Purna Tithi. So if you want to throw out anything bad from your heart, for example, husband and wife, right? Husband and wife, usually there are fights, right? Every husband, we have fights, and sometimes that can keep us from opening up and keeping good communication. So that is the day you want to throw this off your chest. So you want to meditate, you want to fast. And if this bija, if this is thrown out of the mind, suppose I don't like somebody, but I know this whole thing is going to destroy my life, so I want to change my life. So what do? I meditate on that full moon day. I pray to the Lord so that I can become free from such karma. So it's the best benefit we can get from the eclipse. Okay. All right. How to harness vitamin D? When is lunar eclipse? Full moon. It's coming up in 2 days. I believe November 4th. Let me. 4th night eclipse. November. Let me tell you the exact time coming up. That is November 18th. Yeah, so the one that is coming up in 2 days is new moon. So that is November 18th, 19th is the partial lunar eclipse. It's nothing major, but it's a very good day for meditation. Okay, so how to harness vitamin D? So Kartik Purnima will actually be a eclipse. How to harness vitamin D from the sun? So in our group, I will share a video. So this is called as Suryaviksana Mudra. Okay, you make a triangle like this and you look at the sun. So when you look at the sun, first it becomes like a hot ball, you cannot see. Then if you adjust it, then you see the sun properly. You are able to see the sun properly. So that I have a video in my YouTube. I will share it. So this is called as Suryaviksana Mudra. So when the sun goes into the eye, so you can do this 10 minutes every day. Go out in the sun and look at the sun with this. So this Suryaviksana Mudra. When the sunlight goes into the eyes, fire, Agni is activated. That actually enhances your vitamin D. But you shouldn't do for more than 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes max. But if you do 10 minutes every day, you'll never have deficiency of vitamin D. Okay, that's why when during Gayatri and everything, they look at the sun and they worship, they do Surya Vikshana Mudra, So every day, thrice a day, people used to look at the sun until you chant Gayatri, like 5-6 minutes or 10 minutes, 3 times a day. So people used to get the benefit of actually watching the sun. So that's how people never had these issues with vitamin D before. Today we have all the issues with vitamin D. Yeah. Okay, so that is, I will share that video in the group that I have. I have explained that in more detail also. Okay. All right, looks like that is the end of questions. Yes, I will share the video in the group. Viewing sun by just one eye. Yeah, actually, when you look at it, you do with one, you can adjust with both eyes. Once you start looking at it, so you adjust with I just showed one eye because that's how you see, but actually you adjust it, then you are able to see. So 2 books about Ayurveda. One is Charaka Samhita. Next is Bhava Prakasha. So
Could you type that in? I'll spell that.
Charaka Samhita, and next is Bhava, that is one word, Charaka, Bhava Prakasha. So these are very important books on Ayurveda, Ayurvedic treatises. Okay, there are several, but these 2 are the most important ones. All right. Okay, I don't see any more questions coming. So I think it was a very wonderful day. We shared and we discussed a lot today, and I hope all of you have a fulfilling, healthy, happy life. And this I have streamed it to my Facebook channel and my YouTube channel, and a lot of videos coming up from now on. I'll be sharing a lot of videos. And also, just to announce before we end, December 1st week, I am starting a Ayurveda and Herbology course. Okay, separate. I will share the poster very soon. So anyone who is interested can sign up for a course. So it is Ayurveda and herbs, herbology. So Ayurveda and herbs. So this, we will talk all the basics of Ayurveda, but we will also go very deeply into the different herbs in that course. So you can sign up. I will share that in maybe in a day or 2. I will share, and whoever is interested can do that course. Okay. So thank you all so much. Yes, it's been a very wonderful event, and I thank all of you for joining. So many of you have joined. I think we can have a group picture if everybody can turn on their camera for 1 second, then I would like to. I always love to share this. And okay, Namaste Sheetalji, Nandini, Jasmine, Hugo. I can see Sharita Mataji has a beautiful picture, but if you can turn on camera, that will look beautiful. Namaste Gopalji, Rodrigo. There's our Joshua who is always asking questions. Huh? Okay, Rayansh, I can see. Yes, let's connect on WhatsApp. Amruta, okay, after a long time. Somebody has a Satyashray has your face has changed to a Microsoft logo. So, so Jawaharlal ji, Venkateshwaralu ji, Namaste, Hare Krishna. All right, we are left with Amita and Richa, Archana ji. If you can quickly turn on, then I will take a final group photo with the Dhanvanthari ji, who is just born today. He's already a big boy. Oh, okay. Oh, Baladev Prabhu, after a long time. Okay, nice to see all of you. Hope you have all a good health. Let's give a good smile. All right, let's give a good smile. Namaste or Haribol, whichever pose. Okay. Hare Krishna. I'm just clicking the screenshot. Here we go. All right. Oh my God. So happy to see all of you. Hope this event was happy and fulfilling. And may this bring joy on this Dhanteras day. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, it's the first time I am celebrating Dhanvanthras like this. Yeah,
Yes,
in
yes.
Trinidad, we just light the diya in the night.
Yes.
You know?
See, many people do not know the spiritual importance.
There's a tradition for us to light this diya in the night. So we light this diya, and then tomorrow we light 14 diyas in the house, and then Diwali night we light.
Lighting the diya is an act of knowledge.
Yes.
Lighting the diya.
The light represents.
Actually, that is what it represents. The light of intelligence. Yeah. All right. So very, very happy to see all of you. Thank you all so much. And we'll continue as usual tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Happy Dhanteras.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Bo.